I'm Maria Alaprendo. I'm a gameplay designer, and I am a creature combat designer.
I'm Nick Conkle. I'm the lead gameplay and combat designer.
Brian Wheeler. I'm the lead PvP designer.
We really want you to be tied to the world, and we want monsters to present a challenge to the player every single time you fight them, not a speed bump for the player. We don't want fighting monsters to be boring, or you eat a sandwich and do 5 other things while you're fighting a monster. And we want to reward you for executing and moves and fighting against monsters well.
We really want everyone to have fun playing it, right? It is an RPG that is just fun in and of itself. And that meant that people who are used to playing Skyrim and Elder Scrolls games had to enjoy it when they first picked it up, and people who play MMOs had to enjoy it when they first picked it up. And the combat system is really meant to be fun in and of itself.
Another thing is we wanted our combat to be less about success and failure, living or dying, killing every mob or not killing every mob. And so what it comes down to is when those monsters present their iconic behaviors to you, you can defeat them, and if you defeat them, you earn something called finesse. And the more finesse you build throughout a fight, the more rewards that you're going to get.
We wanted to create an immersive experience because that's sort of that's the modern game, that's the modern RPG, right? One in which I look at the world not at my hotbar, not at numbers that are flying up. I don't execute some sort of rotation, right? Instead, what I do is I play tactically.
A lot of the way that the monsters behave with each other, we wanted to feel dynamic and also very reactive with the player. We didn't want to confuse the player with a lot of UI or a lot of numbers flying around the screen.
Looking in the world, if you're looking at your UI when there's 200 people on your screen fighting each other, you're kind of missing out one of the big things that we're trying to do, which is these huge battles.
Your first 2 slots, right? Your first 2 actions are derived from your weapon, right? And if I pick up a bow, then they're bow attacks, and if I pick up a sword, then they're sword attacks. So your next 3 slots are derived from your class. You will have, over the course of your progression, many abilities and spells that you will get, more than 3. But you want to pick the 3 that you feel like is going to support your weapon load in an interesting way. Your 6th ability is your ultimate, right? It's also a class ability, and I will have more than 1 available to me through my overall progression, but I can only ever put 1 on my bar because it's really powerful. You are allowed to swap out those abilities in whatever way you want, as long as you are not currently in a fight. There's sort of opportunities for what I sometimes call soft synergies, which is something like where I'm going to lay down an area of slow, like that sticky oil that the guy goes through, and now I'm going to be more vulnerable to other types of attacks if I move slower. Like I can't dodge as easily just because I'm slowed. But there's also these like really direct, obvious synergies, like, hey, I put down the oil and then I shoot it with a fireball, and now it's on fire, and everyone in the area is doing it. And monsters can do that. But also players, right? And players have this huge breadth of things that they can do to set up their friends.
When you have moves like synergy moves where one move can set up another player, playing together is really a huge benefit in when you're just PvEing or questing or something like that.
It is this large, persistent area, right? Sort of the main area, and calling it PvP might be a little bit of a misnomer because it's actually a large tactical, alliance-wide war effort.
The basic goal is that anybody can get into it, and that it benefits everybody in the alliance. That's the biggest overall arching theme for the PvP system. Everybody benefits from it. We really want to give everybody, whether they're a PvE or a PvPer or some mix of in between, a feeling that they are fighting for an alliance together as a team.
And also kill sharing. We don't walk out monsters for a single player, so if I shot the fireball at him before you were able to swing your sword at him, he's my monster and you can no longer fight him. You might as well just leave and go somewhere else. If you see somebody in the area and they're doing the same things that you're doing, going along with them is going to help you.
It's not just there's 1,000 other people in the world and I'll see a few of them, right? It's not like I'm living in the same city as them and some of them are my friends and that's kind of the end of it, right? Like, no, there's this massive overarching conflict that everyone is a part of and everyone benefits from.
There's things out there to capture, one of them being a keep, which you saw in the video. And we do allow parts of that keep to blow up completely and go away for you to breach. We don't make it a bottleneck situation where you can only get in through one location.
It isn't so much, hey, PvP, let's just have this, battle, this tight area where we'll just fight and whoever's left alive at the end wins. Like, no, it's a war effort, and you don't have to be the best at fighting to be the best at the game.
That's not to say you can't play the game solo if you desire that. There's a main story, and the main story is tailored for your unique single-player experience. And so we do provide those really thrilling, epic storylines for the player that wants to go through the game that way. But really, we've made the game for a social environment.
And as enemies rise faster than allies, salvation cannot come from one hero alone.